Okay, here's where I'm going with this kitchen. I've given it a lot of thought. And I get what I thought on the 50s, and especially the early 50s that I've worked on, is they were, by me, I would describe them as symmetrical. Which I like. I like patterns and things to be the same. And I think they did a fair amount of that in the 50s, at least on the simpler campers that I work on. Okay? And so I thought, let me do that. This is just the face. I've got it sitting here. I did tell you I was going to do 21. I'm going to back it down to 20. I had a different idea. 20 is she's going to be 20 this way. It's still going to be 51 and some change going that way. So what I did was I tried to follow somewhat of a pattern, and I started with what I knew had to happen first, which was the air conditioner. So this is the opening for the air conditioner. It'll sit right in here. But it's too low, Rob. It'll never get air up. It'll still be hot up there. Here we go again. Does your refrigerator get hot at the top? No, it doesn't. Because it removes the hot air. It's not that it cools everything. Your AC removes hot air and replaces it with cold air. That's called, look at this. This is the circulation. So eventually and over time, it will pull all the heat out. It may take a little time to get to the top, but it'll get there. That's how refrigeration works. But people get stuck on that. Hot air rises, cool air falls. What about the people that have their central air AC coming out through the floor? People try too hard sometimes. That's me right now trying too hard. Let me get back to what I know. I made the AC the way it needs to be. That's it right there. We made this tall enough that we were going to have a cabinet here. Cabinet, and somewhere in this vicinity on top is going to be the sink. And this is deep enough that it can still, you could probably put your cleaning supplies in there and your things like that. So it's not wasted space. And then down here, space. This will be very small, obviously, but we'll leave it open. Because you could put something in there. You could put a pair of tennis shoes in there. I don't know what you would put in there. Do what you're going to do. But then this will be a full size right here. So full size, partial. But on the outside, it will look symmetrical. To me, this is pleasing to the eye. Yes, this one has this here, but it's all going to be skinned out with some really beautiful luan like you've already seen. And the AC is going to be sticking out anyway. So you're not going to notice this. But what you will notice is that all of these are similar and they're within a 1/4 inch of each other. Had to be not exactly a 1/4 inch to the 1/4 inch here because of the AC, but then we split this both ways. We kept this one and then we split it this way. And that's what you got. And that looks symmetrical to me. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. So, I'm going to build the runners going to the back. And then these going across there just to brace up the countertop. And then, if I have time, which I don't know if I'm going to have time tonight. Look at these. These were newish pants. Not new, But I'd like to get everything built, everything framed, and ready to be skinned out. Because it'll need skin from here up on both ends. And it will need a big, nice, beautiful piece of skin that we're going to cut everything out of it. I hate doing it, but it makes it beautiful. It seems wasteful, but it's not. because it looks beautiful, and beauty sometimes is what we're looking for. And I think that that's going to be something that's going to be very nice to do for the cemetery. We don't want plain symmetry. We want that symmetrical look, but we want it to look beautiful as well. And what made me think of that, let me see if I can go crazy with this great camera work. So, up here, this is where the window will go. Right here is where the cabinet will go. That's just how it's going to be. It's going to look like 1954 showed up at your house and said, hey, Daddy's home. That's going to be the size of the cabinet that's going up there. Now, I've got to find a way to make it symmetrical. It shouldn't be too tough. It's got to halfway match this, I think, to a point. I don't know. Do I put one big cabinet door? That's too much. 2 or 3. I don't know. 2, 1 on each end, but then keep the middle a little bit open. Put a real nice light right there. And that would give you, it wouldn't give you 3 spaces, but it would be spaced 3 ways. Your eye has to be pleased. So that's why I've got that up there, because every time I come in here, I look at it. It's bigger than you think. Let me go up here. I mean, we're talking, I think it's, so you can see more to the dimension. It's 20 inches. So 20 by, I think I made it at 51. 20 by 51 is a lot of space. We're going to make it stop right here, right where this stops. Same on both ends. So, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm going to let it sit there. We're not in any hurry on that, because that's going to be something that you look at when you come in. You'll come in and you'll look at this and you'll be like, I'm pleased with that. That's fine. But when you look at this, it's eye level. When you walk in the door, boom, pow, it's just smack you right in the face. So this, as symmetrical and beautiful as this has to be, this has got to catch your eye. So that's where we're at on that. I'm going to finish this up, get it skinned out, show it to you, and we'll probably consider that next. Another cold day, unless you got a treat and your own heating source. I have neither. But what I do have is the kitchen faced. Got it dried overnight, clamped down. So this morning, I'm going to router it out. Get the old router going. And I have given some thoughts to up there. Still haven't decided. I've got a couple of options. So I need to check some of my supplies and see where I'm at. Now for this, there's a lot I can do with this before I even move on. I mean, I could even set the whole AC. Well, I guess that's all. I could make, after I check my other resources, I could make the countertop. I mean, I could always cut out the wood. But I did tell you I was going to pull that back to 20. I didn't. I made it 21. That's what it was called for, 21. So, just a quick little update as we get started today. I at least am going to router that out. I'm going to pull it outside because that makes so much sawdust. It's terrible. So I will suffer through the cold to router that out quickly. And then we'll see where I'm going. I got to get new pants. Anyway, here's where we're at. Got this thing faced out. Looks great. I was able to not put any staples or nails in the face. That's good. That's good. I think if you look at it, it's just very pleasing to the eye. Everything, boom, boom, boom. I like it, I like it, I like it. Now, things I can do. I think the first thing that I will do is I will set up the shelving. Because I've got to put some pieces on the inside to hold the shelves in place. And then you just drop it in there and secure it with some brad nails. That's just what I do. And that works for me. There's plenty of room to hide everything on the inside. Then, okay, so there'll be one whole one across here. We may put some dividers in here. Probably will, at least some small ones. You don't have to divide the space up to the top. I mean, what are you putting in there that's going to cause a problem? But if nothing else, we put 4 or 5 inches on the top of the floor. I don't know. Shelf. That's a good word. Let's mark that into our vocabulary, Rob. Put that on top of the shelf. That'll stop things from moving down the highway. And that's all we're really looking for. So we'll do that. Put one here, one here. One here, definitely, to keep everything out of the way of the air conditioner. We don't. That's a problem we do not need. So we'll probably go full length up to here for the AC. So I can get that done. I think I can do that while I'm waiting for the putty on the sides to dry. I have to use staples on the sides, otherwise it takes 3 times as long, so I have to wait for each side to dry. You're not necessarily going to see much of there, but it doesn't look bad anyway. It's amber shellac. It's going to be fine. Okay, I think I'm going to do the shelves. Then after this dries, I'll sand it back down. I'll shellac everything. I don't have anything else to shellac, and I don't like to do that. It's like I feel like I'm wasting a brush. But this has to happen now. Because, as cold as it is today, tomorrow it's going to be kind of the same. Maybe it's a touch warmer. But the next day, day 3, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work out here. It's like it's supposed to be 18. And that's not on the Celsius scale. That's Fahrenheit, America. Okay? So, it's going to be cold. But that's my last day before I have to go back to work after this time off. So I may suffer through to see what I can get done. Because then that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, which I would only work after work, working here after work, it's going to be super cold, so I'm not even going to worry about that. That's only an hour and a half, 2 hours after work. It's not a big deal. I can figure that out later. Try to wait for the weekend. So, and I can also cut out the countertop. That gives me plenty to think about right now. I think I'll do that. Because all I'm going to do is just take some 3/4 by 3/4, nail them in from the back side, probably all the way from here to here on the back, on the inside. And then I will have to do something on the edges here. So I'm good on that edge. I have to add something on this edge to keep that in there. Then something on the back edge. That's all. That's all I'm going to have to do. Yeah, I'll show you when I get done with it. See if I get what I'm get done with. Okay, the rest of this is just going to have to be music because evidently my vocabulary isn't working today. Nor is my haircut. Either way, let's get to work. There's where I got. I'd like to show you a few little things that I did. I trimmed this out. 3/4 counter edge. Oop, blood on that. I guess I better clean that. 3/4 counter edge molding. I did just put that in there for the socket. Right, the socket, the outlet. Gonna get that in there. Filled that in, and so this will all be open right here. Close this off to the AC. Let it be as airtight as possible. It doesn't need to be airtight, but the more that it pushes out the back and sucks up from underneath, the better. All right, and I put the dividers this way. Put those in there. put in the shelf, obviously. Got it all shellacked, cut out. So I'm very, very pleased. Let's get maybe an angle from over here. Yeah, I really, really like it. The AC cord will be plugged in underneath there. Again, the sink will be at that end. So I think that really did us a lot of storage. And AC fits right in there. I'm thinking real hard about that right there. That's on my list. And I think I'm going to tackle it next because I feel good where I'm at right here. It's for all intents and purposes, it's done, it's set. The walls are 100% square. They squared right up. It was a beautiful thing to see. So I'm gonna hold off making the countertop, I think, because I'm just motivated to get started up there. Just even to start, not necessarily to make it or finish it, but I got it. Once I start it, it'll start talking to me, and I'll do something. I'll do something cool. So I'm gonna get going on that. At least sketching it out.